Okay, I've just now talked for about 10 minutes and I wasn't getting to a point. I was still in the introduction of this video and I don't want this video to be this long. I want it to be simple and easy to understand. Last time I talked to you about valuing your work, pricing your work, and also value the work of artists and pay them correctly. Like, artists have a reason why they have to ask money for their work and why they have a specific price they ask. This time I wanted to talk to you about your rights as a creator. For example, when you create something, when you draw something, you automatically get the right to this. It's your character, it's your design, it's your idea. If you have, for example, a project, this is your work, this is your, they call it IP, intellectual property. I wanted to make this video because I met with a friend 2 weeks ago, well, sometime around where I put up that video with pay your artist, like get your money. And she is following my channel as well, so thank you for supporting me. And she told me that she found that video very interesting and that I should make more of this kind. Because we were also talking, I was asking her about a project she was working on, and I knew that there was a company that approached her. I'm not going to say which project, which person, which company, just as an example, because it's just something that we talked about recently. So I asked her how it's going, if there's some new development, and actually the company offered a contract and she declined. She did not take the contract. So it's a project that she's making and the company wants to work with her and develop the project with her. And she read the contract and she was not satisfied by how they are dealing with her rights and how much money she is getting for giving up so many rights. It's a very simplified version, but just to understand the case. If you have somebody approaching you, be very careful about when to give which rights away and for how much, because once they're gone, they're gone. If that contract is signed, it's done. You have legally given your rights to another person, and if you come later and you're like, but you're making way much money now than you anticipated, and I just got like this tiny little share, the deal's done. You agreed, you accepted, your rights are gone. This is the only thing you have as a creator. Like, yes, you have the image, but this image is tied very closely to those rights, or the project is tied very closely to those rights. So I think that my friend there did everything right in denying the contract, because she was not happy with what she was getting, or how they were treating the rights, or how many rights they were getting, because you also have to make, but this is going to be a whole different video. But just to quickly give an example, you have different rights to your property, to your drawing, with different value. So you can, for example, give your rights away with a limited time. Like, for example, you have designed something and you want them to only use it for 1 year. You can set a time limit on how long you give your rights away. You can also say, I give you my rights for 1 year, and if you want to continue using them after that, you have to pay again for the next year. Like, all that stuff. You can also give your rights away only for digital distribution. You can give your rights away for certain countries. You can say, yeah, I'm going to give you this image so you can make downloads, you can offer downloads for your clients, but you cannot use this image to print on media. Or you can just use this image to print like 5 times and not more. You can have restricted rights, and you can have, how do you call them in English? You can also give one person all the rights, to only the exclusive rights. That's the word, exclusive rights. You have, yeah. Let's just not get too deep into the topic of rights and how and which one you have and how to give them away. But you have different rights with different values. So that's something you see very common with younger artists. I mean, I'm also not that old myself, but I've made some experiences in my short career for now. Younger artists, often when they see a possibility to make money, they jump too quickly on it. And afterwards, it could get ugly, because they could have made so much more with their work. And I think that's something that you have to, just like valuing your art and trying to get your money's worth, you also have to try and protect what's yours. So don't give away what you have too easily, too freely. Like you can make exceptions. Of course, you don't have to follow one strict line, and that's the one thing to do. And for example, you have a project for a good cause, and then you want to make a contract with them, and then you, no, I just can't do it. You can make exceptions if it's really cool thing. But what I sometimes fear is if you have big companies that want to exploit, for example, younger artists, like they do great work, but they don't have the experience, so maybe they also don't have the self-esteem to step up for themselves and ask and demand, and also simply the knowledge that you can decline an offer, get back to the client and maybe make a new deal. Like if you decline an offer, it doesn't mean that you automatically don't get the job. It just means that you do not accept the contract as it is now and you want changes to be made. If the client is a serious one, he will at least consider it. He will not be there and say there is no changes to be made. And if he says that there's no changes to be made, sometimes it's better to just go and leave it be. All in all, just to sum up this video, in the end it is your decision to make. So you have to make a decision on how you're going to handle your rights and how much money you're going to ask for what. But just consider that if you decline something, it will not be your last possibility to get a job, and it doesn't mean that you automatically don't get the job if you decline. Sometimes you just have to, haggle is a bad word, but you have to discuss to come to an agreement where the company or your client can be happy, and you as a creator have the right to be happy with the contract yourself. So in the hopes now that this video is not as long as the last one, I'll leave it be for today, and I hope you enjoyed this content, even if there was no art again. I have a few art projects going on that I'm also filming, not only time lapses but also sketch to finish projects, because I miss these types of video. I don't only want to have time lapses on my channel, so there will be new videos with art in the following weeks. Thank you for watching this and see you next time. Bye!